J-Man here for a comic book review. Peacemaker tries hard. Number one, try hard instead of die hard. Okay, well, I got this for no reason other than it's Peacemaker and it's jokes. Full disclosure, I've read one Peacemaker comic my entire life. I'm holding it in my hand. I've read some Suicide Squad. I'm not a big Suicide Squad person. It's fine. Whatever. Old Peacemaker comics, zero. Don't know about the character at all. I knew about him, in the vaguest sense, Peacemaker, that's a character, right? The big reveal for me was obviously John Cena in the Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad 2, the Suicide Squad. Clever, devilishly clever. Anyway, so yeah, and he was fine. I liked him in that movie. He's funny. I doubt that's the character. I think James Gunn pretty much just takes the character. He makes them look good. Like John Cena. This is basically John Cena. He looked pretty cool. It looked like Peacemaker from the comics. That's pretty cool. He had the silly helmet and all that. So that's neat. So James Gunn is great at taking these characters and making them look cool. And then he usually just does his own little interpretation. The Peacemaker TV show I did like. I really liked Vigilante in that show, but it's not the real Vigilante yet. Again, I read, it's funny too, because I read zero Vigilante comics. And then when the Peacemaker show came out, I was like, well, I really like this character. I think he's a lot of fun. And then I read, I don't know, his first appearance in maybe the first 5 or 6 issues of his series, which is actually really good. That's Marv Wolfman, I believe. Man, that was awesome. So I ended up picking up the first appearance of Vigilante. I bought the original comic. And I think I got a couple of Vigilante comics, and the rest I just got on digital through Comixology. But yeah, Vigilante's awesome. So it's hard now because I can't go back, and I'm like, well, now I go back and I'm like, that's not really Vigilante. But I like the character in the show, but I also like the comic book character. So obviously, push comes to shove, I default to the comic character. That is what it should be. Peacemaker hasn't had that. I did like Peacemaker, the TV series, a lot. I thought Peacemaker in it was pretty funny. I bought his figure. I bought his little Funko guy. So yeah. So I thought, let's just pick this up for no reason. Will I get issue 2? Yeah, I'll get issue 2. But let's review this using my space method. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 to 2. 2 is the best you can get. If any category gets a 2 out of 2, that doesn't mean it's the best thing ever. So if I give the storyline of this a 2 out of 2, I'm not saying that the storyline of Peacemaker Tries Hard is better than V for Vendetta or better than, Watchmen or something. That's not how I rate these. This is being rated against itself, plus kind of its peers if there are any. There really isn't for this comic. There's really just the show and this. This is kind of more along the lines of the TV show, which again, I'm assuming is not really the Peacemaker comics that people would be familiar with. Peacemaker is not a character that a lot of people know, so I think the fan tension level is a lot less. Like if you screw up Superman, people get pissed off. If you screw up Peacemaker, it's like, well, it's Peacemaker, right? So I think that's where we're at with this property, this IP of Peacemaker. For the storyline, I'm gonna give this, I guess, a 1. It's it's all right. If a comic book gets a 5 out of 10, that's a pass. 5 or 6 is like a pass. 7 or 8 is like, okay, that's pretty good. I'll give it a 1. It's like Peacemaker's just walking around doing funny stuff, eating Slim Jims or whatever the hell this thing is. And they're kind of he's having a party, and they're like, no, we don't want to go to his party. And you're like, all right. So he's sent on a mission to kill these terrorists. He dispatches them pretty funny. As a Peacemaker comic, maybe it should be a 1.5 out of the story, because what were you really expecting? So I'll think about it. I'll stick with 1 for now, 1 out of 2. This was a lot of, now that I'm looking, I read this last night, and it was too late. I had to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. My review's coming after this one. So I had to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, so I read this and I couldn't review it right away. And then upon thinking further about it, I do think it's kind of funny. So you could see that I think it's supposed to be like a John Cena. It's definitely the John Cena version. Anyway, pacing, I'll give it a 1. It takes a while to get going. He finds this dog, right? And it takes a while for him to actually find the dog. It's a few pages. Wow, it's like half the comic before he even gets the dog. And the whole thing is that the brain kidnaps the dog and is forcing Peacemaker. I was going to say John Cena, and is forcing Peacemaker to go and attack Deathstroke. That's the story. I mean, it's okay, right? Like, it's fine. So 1. Pacing again, 1. It's all right. There's some fights in the middle there. There's some of this stuff, right? Artistry, I'm going to give I really like the cover. This is really nice, actually. The interior art is like, okay. I like the colors. I think Peacemaker looks cool. There's, it's not too bad. I showed you this already, but I'll probably give it like, maybe like, I'll give it a 1. I liked it. I'm not like super dying over it. For characters, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I like Peacemaker. I think he's funny. Look, I'm a Trauma guy. I love the Trauma movies. This is why I kind of give James Gunn a little bit of leeway. Like, Lloyd Kaufman was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I mean, how awesome is that? So I think Peacemaker's pretty fun. The other characters are whatever, but I'm reading it for Peacemaker, and he is pretty funny. If you liked that show. So 1.5 for the characterizations. And I'm going to give it 1.5 for enjoyment. I did really like this. So what's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 out of 10? 6 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 out of 10. So 6 out of 10 for a Peacemaker tries hard. They did try hard to make it. Some of the jokes kind of didn't work for me. But I think if you like the show, I think this is made for the people that like the show. If you like the show, then I think you will really like this. A 6 out of 10 is still a pass. It's just that, like, I'm reading like a lot of good quality stuff recently. Even like the Superman titles have picked up a lot for me. I've really liked the Joe Fixit series was really good. Nemesis is just like on fire for me right now. The Spawn titles are doing great. So I'm not comparing this to those comics. That's not really fair. But it's like those are doing so well with what they're presenting. This did present a pretty good thing. Maybe it should really be maybe a 7, right? Maybe it should be a 7. But I'm going to stick with my 6. It's the first issue. Let's see what happens continuing on. I think if you're a Peacemaker fan of the show especially, you'll like it. If you're not, let me know. Again, I don't know anything about Peacemaker, so maybe this is like a real trash comic and you feel that they've really ruined this character. If so, let me know. Like, I want to be in the know of things, and I'm not going to... I can Google it and say, oh, what's the character? But it's better hearing from the fans. I have a lot of people telling me stuff in comments, and some people don't agree with my rating, and some people super agree with it. So, and some people would say, no, what are you talking about? This is like a 9. Like, are you crazy? It was hilarious. I laughed every page. Or people might be like, this is a trash comic and the show is trash, so who cares? So I don't really know. I'm just giving you my personal opinion based on what I've seen and what I know. I don't know what I don't know, right? So, I liked it. I'm giving it the pass. I'm giving it the 6. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe it's a 7. There's some funny bits. I was like that. Come on. I at first didn't even notice these funny, like usually it's like thwack or crunch or something. I didn't even notice that they're saying, I flipped and I'm like, wait, what happened there? It's like, oh, they're putting little funny sound bubbles or whatever. So, I mean, whatever. Let me know what you thought of Peacemaker Tries Hard. They did try hard, so I'm giving them the pass. All right, guys, that's it. Until next time.